Hello everyone, it's Melissa. Welcome back. Today I am sharing another project. This is a 12 by 12 size and it's a layout documenting the arrival of my new puppy. If you guys have been watching some of my videos, you know that I got a puppy for my birthday in January. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you the tiny bit of puppy stuff that I had in my stash, as well as that box of ribbon that my girlfriend gave me from her stash. So I do have two sheets of paper that I got from Joann Fabrics. One has paw prints on it and one has puppy bones. And in fact, this is all I have. So I'm going to need to makeshift the handful of puppy stamps in and make ephemera. What you saw me doing there was pulling from my product jar, and I will talk about that more in the video. But essentially what I'm starting off doing here is I wanted to make a fun stamped kind of confetti type background at first. So I pulled out a stamp set from Paper Smooches, and it is called Woofers and Tweeters, and it's got some birds and dogs, obviously. And so one of the paw prints is from that stamp set. I also pulled out a heart from that stamp set that I don't end up using. And the other paw print is just for my stash. I'm guessing I've just had it for a while, so I don't know. But you can see there I'm doing first and second generation stamping on a piece of craft cardstock, 12 by 12 size. And I'm just using my Stamp-O-Majig with the wood stamp to get, perfect placement. And so I'm going to go ahead and doing this and realizing right about here that I don't love this. And so I'm going to switch gears and try to tone down the bold look of these random paws and pull out a stencil. Now, I don't know where the stencil is from. I apologize, but just in my stash, it's got a bunch of plus signs on it. And I have some modeling paste out, and I'm just going to, as you can see, just all random, like put some, paste down through the stencil and kind of, I don't know if I want to mute it down or kind of just blend it in to make it feel a little bit more mixed media. Yeah, so that's about the extent of it. It doesn't go very far, but I do like the end result of the layout in the end. So going back to my product jar, what I did pull were stitching and sewing sequins, frames, roller stamps, eyelets, tags, and brads. And in fact, the only thing I don't get used on this page are sequins, and it's just because I had a lot of other things going on. I didn't feel like it called for it. So yeah, I'm just, gonna get my paste on here, let this dry, and yeah, I'm coming up. What I don't like, you'll see I end up cutting down that piece of paper just because I felt like my stenciling was off. But anyways, so I pulled some frames from my stash. I actually end up getting two on there and then one that I had cut in half and only had a half left. So essentially 2.5. So one says today, that's a jelly bean soup, and the other one, I don't know where it's from. All really old. Yeah, if you guys know me, this is all old stuff. So just going to glue that on there, let that dry, and then I will cut away the excess. I have a really old tag from my stash, and I was toying with the idea of using the sentiment on there, but I don't. I end up covering it, and I set an eyelet in the tag hole, just a big eyelet from my stash, and I'll later thread some, you see there, I threaded some ribbon through that. I've pulled some scraps of paper from my stash. You can see that I have that half frame right there and the word puppy and love. And the love is from the Crate Paper Maggie Holmes die set. This is a Paper Studio, old foam font. I used some acrylic paint and water for splatters. And I also want to show you that I used these Amy Tangerine stencils and Stampin' Up stencil to put some hearts, poke some holes, because I'm going to use, as you can see now, I've used some pink embroidery floss and put some hearts on my page. And I just used those sewing stencils to do that. I have the word puppy put put on a piece of light blue cardstock for my stash. I also have the word love from that crepe paper open book Maggie Holmes die collection, and I have it cut with the same color pink that I essentially used for the background of this layout. You can see I turned the craft into like a 10 by 10 size. I manipulated a black sheet with the paw prints on it and put it behind there. It's not the whole sheet. I'm, being very stingy with that paper. So yeah, I just have a little bits back there. And also, excuse me, I am using more of the pink twine that I used to sew those hearts. And I'm going to tie a bow onto the end of this tag. And like I mentioned before, I was going to use the sentiment on the tag, which was something along the lines of things I don't ever want to forget. But I decided just to cover it up. I already had the today on there, which I didn't show on camera, but I backed up with black cardstock. That's just a diagonal piece of light blue paper behind the word puppy. And again, I cut love with the same color pink as the background, and I just cut it like 3 or 4 times and layered it. So here now I stamped Woof. That's a Hero Arts stamp, just a single one I bought a long time ago. And I'm going to use one of my epoxy bubbles and turn this into a piece of flair. So that's just a white piece of cardstock I stamped on with black and just setting that bubble, and I'll cut it out with my scissors. I kind of wanted to have some circle elements on this page just because I have the splatter on there and it, makes it very random for me. So you can see here I have also made an epoxy bubble with a scrap piece of that black paw print paper. I have epoxy bubbles that size that are small. The Candice I cut from the MFT bottle cap alphabet. I also, see here I'm showing you the epoxy bubbles that I have that are really small. I just set it on, like I said, a scrap of that paper and cut around it. I used the Studio Calico nested tabs die and an Avery L stamp set. Sorry, it says it's a girl, and this stamp is called Special Delivery. And I put it on a piece of vellum, stamped and embossed, and put it on a piece of vellum, cut it out, and I'm going to use my tiny attacher to staple it at the top there. And yeah, just kind of moving along. I was pleased to see that I do have a stamp set in my stash called Bella and Friends from Stampin'Up. It's really old, but the puppy I got was a Havanese, and I think the dog in the stamp set looks just like my little pup, so I was excited for that. I don't see myself buying any more puppy things. My girlfriend did say she had more little goodies to give me, so I'm looking forward to that. So from the Life in Color Simple Stories, I have a Brad, and so I put that there. It just has some pink and black elements there. I'm going to add that, and then a pink, I added the little paw print. I'm going to add a pink Brad from my stash right in that area. Also, you're going to see me behind the Wolf piece of makeshift flair. I'm going to use from my paper tray ink dies. It's called the Circle Scribbles, and I ended up cutting it out, the smallest scribble, in a craft paper, and I believe I show you that up close here, but I just wanted something to ground it. See there, it's called the Circle Scribbles, and I wanted something to ground it and have something coming out of there. So I'm going to glue the scribble down, and then I'm going to add some pink, kind of like a fuchsia hot pink thread from my stash, and just going to knot it up like Missy Whidden does all the time. And it's easier for me to not do a circle lump and then put it on a glue dot and then make it all messy. So that's what I'm in fact going to do. My journaling just says underneath Candice, I will eventually add the date she was born, which was November 23rd, 2018, and the breeder's name that we got her from, where we picked her up, and the date I do stamp on the bottom with my Heidi Swapp date stamp, my very favorite date stamp, January 19th. And so there you can see me making my strings all messy right before I glue on my piece of flair. And that about sums it up. If you like this video, you guys, I would love a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'm always looking for more subbies. Also, I will put the links to my Facebook and Instagram, and I'll put those into the description box. I would love for you to come over there, like my pages, follow me on Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos. I hope you enjoyed this share and just a little look into my sweet little girl, our new addition to our family. We are super excited, and yeah, could not be happier. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.